What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Green Beat. It is audition season around the country, so I figured today I'll give you some tips that I think would help everyone be successful no matter where you are auditioning. So if you see me looking down, I have my points written out so I don't want to forget anything. There are a lot, well, not necessarily, but there are a lot of broken down points within each point. So point number one, make a great first impression. Will Rogers once said that you never get a second chance at a good first impression, which means whenever you encounter your auditioner, whenever you step foot on whatever campus it is that you are auditioning for, make sure you put your best foot forward. One way that you can do that is to be early. Be at least an hour early. A lot of schools, especially on the master's level, will have like audition fairs or something like that, or audition days. And even some schools do that on the bachelor's level as well. And they'll have orientations, and some schools will have testing to make sure that you are ready for musical study in their department. So make sure that you are early enough to where you can find the buildings and the rooms, honestly, where your audition is held. You can find the rooms where the tests are held. You can find the room where orientation is held, and you can really get acclimated with everything and everywhere that you're going to have to go and do for your audition. Next, be polite. Make sure that you are being very mannerable. Yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. Make sure that you are showing that, honestly, that you have some home training. If you have never had home training, look it up on the internet and fake it till you make it. The perks of living in the age of technology. Next, dress up. A lot of times I see students come to auditions in jeans and a t-shirt, and nothing's wrong with that, but I believe, and what has worked for me in the past is when you dress up, it puts you in a different mindset. It puts you in a business mindset. So I would suggest coming to your audition dressed either business professional or in business casual attire. And I'll put up a diagram of both business casual and business professional attire. And the reason I say that is because it takes longer to get dressed, and as you're getting dressed, your mind is shifting from laying in the bed or doing whatever mundane task that you would do normally in jeans and a t-shirt to actually getting ready for work, getting ready to go accomplish and knock out some tasks for the day. So I would highly suggest dressing up. And plus, clothes affect the way that you feel. Clothes affect the way that you act, whether you notice it or not. Honestly, I had a teacher when I was an undergrad, and we would always know whenever he was having a bad morning because he would come to work in a suit, because the suit would help him feel, it would make him feel better. Because when you dress nice and you look nice, you feel nice. You feel good about yourself. So really, I encourage you really all to dress up, whether it be business casual, business professional. And it also shows the auditioner that you are taking this seriously, and that this is not just something else that you are just doing for the sake of doing it. Moving on, play to your strengths. So if you are a great two-mallet player, a great timpanist, a great snare drummer, hopefully you're a great all of those, but let's be real, percussion is a huge family, so a lot of us choose to specialize on one thing, and but we're still proficient on the rest of the instruments as well. So play to your strengths. If you're a great two-mallet player, please, for the love of everything, do not come into your audition trying to play velocities and you've never learned the four-mallet technique. Or if you have never played timpani, or if you've only done two-mallet etudes, I would not suggest playing a Carter etude because they're all written for four drums. I would not. Most of them are written for four drums, if I'm not mistaken. But saying all that to say, I would not go above and beyond my skill set, because the audition is made, or the point of the audition is to show your best self as a musician. Point 6, make sure that you have everything that you need to make your audition as close to perfect as possible. That means your sticks and mallets, which should go without saying. Make sure that all of your notes and rhythms are learned. Make sure your piece is recital ready. And a lot of times, if you're coming from undergrad or your master's program going on to that next level, you've done a recital as your capstone project to graduate. So a lot of those pieces will still be under your hands, but make sure that you knock the dust off of them. High school seniors, make sure that your band director hears your piece before you come to audition for college. That way you put yourself in a better position. And your band director, who has training in music, obviously can point out some potential mistakes and give you some things to work on and some things to watch out for before you get in the audition space. That way you can display your best musical self. Also, it is polite of you to have more than one copy of your music. So a copy for you, obviously, but make sure that it's polite to have a copy for your auditioner and an extra copy just in case there are two people listening to you. Or sometimes there may be a panel of people listening to you. I would at least have 2 additional copies of your music. It's polite, and it shows another level of professionalism and preparation. Another thing that shows those 2 P's, professionalism and preparation, is having 2 black hand towels. And if you don't know what they're for, black is because they blend in with most music stands, because most music stands are black unless you have a specialty color like we do here at Tennessee State, where ours are blue. Black blends in with most music stands, and the hand towel eliminates the stick noise or the noise from whatever instrument that you are sitting on the stand. It eliminates that noise. Now, if you're playing like a tambourine or something, the jingles will still move because that's just the nature of the instrument. But all of the extra noise from sitting sticks down, from sitting tambourines and stuff down, will be all of the stand noise. There we go. Will be eliminated just about. So having those 2 black hand towels will help you stand out. Again, it shows that extra level of preparation and professionalism. And you want to show as many of those aspects as possible. Last thing, make sure that you are communicating early, often, and never assume that things are going to be available to you. Have a contingency plan just in case things break, things get lost, the studio doesn't have whatever instruments. You never know. Have a contingency plan. I would say, if you have a piece with tambourine, bring 2 tambourines. If you're playing a snare drum piece, I would bring a snare drum if possible, and I would bring 2 pairs of snare drum sticks. I just had an audition, and he was playing a snare drum piece. He brought his own snare drum. Shows another level of preparation. Just in case. Of course, we have snare drums here, but he brought his own just in case. And that spoke volumes. And my last point, if something happens, make sure you communicate early and often. So make sure that you're on time. Hopefully you've left. If you're coming from out of town, hopefully you've left and giving yourself an arrival point of a couple hours before your audition. So if you've done that, make sure you do that. But if something happens, make sure that you communicate, sending emails, call, do something. Smoke signal, whatever you have to do. Make sure you let your auditioner know, hey, I was supposed to be here at 10 a.m. and I understand my audition isn't until 12:30, but there's a wreck on the interstate and it's really bad, and GPS is saying that I won't get to town until 12:30, and I really want to let you know. Is there anything is there any possibility of pushing my audition later in the day or rescheduling? I really appreciate you taking the time to can read this email, and B, I really appreciate you for all your help and your patience. Simple email. just make sure you communicate, because as an auditioner myself, I'm more apt to give some understanding and grace to somebody who did everything they possibly could to be on time and to be prepared, than someone who just left at the last minute and they were already going to get to the audition at 12:25. Now they won't get there till 1 because they left so late. You can kind of see the comparison there. So if you have any questions about anything that I've said in this video, please feel free to leave a comment, ask in the comments, or if you don't feel comfortable doing that, also leave my email in the description, and you can shoot me an email and I'll answer your question there as well. Happy auditions. This has been another episode of A Green Beat. Peace.